Hello and thank you for watching. My name is Merganator and here we have some Forza Motorsport 6 gameplay, but I'm going to be talking about the GTLM, GTD, GT3, whatever, the IMSA, the WEC, the Blancpain, the endurance racing, circuit race cars, and the top 10 cars, non-DLC, with the best tunes possible, and just the highest rating per, for the R class. So here is a quick list, top 10 list of those cars. It's just going to be a brief little opinion. This is all subjective. I mean, this is all just me running a bunch of hot laps with all these cars and just kind of deciding which one works with me. Also, statistically, which lap times just kept getting consistently, like, just the best times possible for the tracks. Number 10, we have the Bentley. This big bastard I had a lot of problems steering with, a lot of wheel spin. It was heavy, and it's just tough to get around any track. And if you want a challenge, pick that one. It does well in multiplayer, but that's just because most of the people in multiplayer are just terrible at driving. Number 9, we have the Aston Martin. And this car in particular is just, it is a fan favorite in the hoppers, but I don't know, I was having a really hard time just hitting those apexes, getting those corners correctly, and it just is not a fun one to use. Number 8 is the McLaren, and while this thing is tight around the corners and everything, I just felt like the acceleration and the overall speed, I just wasn't getting the best of lap times. Still a fun car to drive though, so there you go. Number 7 is the Mercedes. This is kind of the same thing, just more or less. It has a different RPM range on the engine, and I just felt like I was sluggish around the tracks, even though I actually technically wasn't. This thing pulled some good lap times, but it's just a matter of preference. It just wasn't that good, so the Mercedes is at number 7. Number 6, we have the Lamborghini, and the Lamborghini I am driving is the all-wheel drive Super Trofeo car. I didn't use the Hurricane because I figured that was more or less DLC. I didn't remember or recall seeing the two-wheel drives before the whole month-long event that they had. So, number 6, Lamborghini. This thing rips around certain tracks, but then it fails at others. So it's kind of a hit-or-miss car. I love the way it handles around hairpins and things like that. But on high-speed turns, it really likes to just let go of the ground and fly into the grass. Really hard to deal with on certain tracks, but still a very fun car. Amazing acceleration, but that's due to it being all-wheel drive. Number 5 is the Chevrolet Team Corvette, one of my favorite cars ever, but I'm still giving that number 5 because while it has decent acceleration and top speed, I felt like this thing is just kind of tough to get around corners. You have to be really, really good and patient on the throttle when it comes to any track. It doesn't matter. And while I was getting good lap times on it, it was just, it honestly ended up not being the most fun to drive. Number 4 is the Audi. Now this car was actually I thought this would be my least favorite car. I don't know why, but the Audi was just actually one of the more fun cars to drive on any circuit. Consistent great lap times. It just sounds awesome going around the tracks. It's fun to handle, and it's just an overall really good car. Very solid car. Number 3 is the Dodge Viper, and this car, I kind of suspected it would have been top 3, and it's very solid. I love the way, I love the range of the RPMs, really low rumbling. I think it's a V10 in there, but very solid car, grips all of the corners and accelerates out of them with like a boss. Very good top end speed too, very fun car to drive. So number 3 is the Dodge Viper. Number 2, the Ferrari. Honestly, this thing placed higher than I thought it would have. I had some amazing lap times with this car. The only thing that is bad about this car is it's very lightweight in the rear. So sometimes you'll get some wheel spin and maybe your exit out of a corner will be not the best. But after a little finesse and some practice, this car, it can be mastered and crafted to just create win after win after win and great lap times. It's a really fun car to drive, so that's why it's number 2 And number 1 is the BMW. I kind of figured this car would be top 3, but I didn't think I would love it as much as I do. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it handles. All the liveries on here are just kick-ass. It just grips the short tracks like crazy. Hairpins it nails. High-speed turns it does really well on. It accelerates out of every corner with amazing speed. It grips really well, and it's just, like I said, it's just fun to drive. So thank you for watching. Now let me know what your thoughts are below. I mean, what are your favorite cars to drive in the GTLM series that's non-DLC? And then go ahead and let me know what your favorite DLC cars are as well, because I do own the Porsche pack, and while I do really like the Porsche, I feel like it has its issues as well, besides it just pulling some great lap times on certain tracks. But yeah, let me know what your favorite car is. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.